Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Andrews.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, how are you? And I'm with SecureTask, which is DST Systems' take on crowdsourcing within our enterprise. So for many of you, or I guess I shouldn't say for many of you, for some of you who were here yesterday, bear with me. Maybe you'll get the message a second time through. It'll be slightly different, but I appreciate your patience. I'll take the opportunity to ask a couple questions if I can. So the first one, who wishes they were playing with Legos right now? So I think I fall in that camp. So I don't have any Lego video in my slide deck, so I figured I better tie in the theme of Legos for everybody. So again, I'm responsible for SecureTask here at DST. Everybody got the disclaimer yesterday, so I'm sure that's memorized. Oops, this is. I think we have the wrong one here. Carl.
Is that, oops.
So, okay, I'll go back to the questions if I can. Or
So
if
is that yes? Is that?
No, you should have a final one for me.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's all
Yeah, I
right.
should have a 9/16 date. Okay, so back to the questions. And this will come into play later when I talk about who DST is, but who all invests in mutual funds? Not to pry too deeply, right? Saving for retirement, hopefully. Hopefully, maybe if you have kids and you're not spending all your money on Legos, you're saving for their college, right? Potentially that. I won't ask who's been to the pharmacy lately, but I expect most people have had a prescription claim filled in the last year or so. So while we're jumping to that and why all that's important, so DST was founded in 1969. So to continue another theme from this morning, company that's 40 plus. I'm 40 plus as well. But at DST, we provide technology solutions and service solutions in those industries that I referenced before. So we're the largest provider of shareholder accounting systems in the mutual fund industry. We also provide services in the healthcare, insurance, brokerage, 401k plan, record keeping industries.
I don't know what to do with
Okay, so as a provider of technologies in all of those industries, we also don't just provide technology for our clients. We're also a user and a consumer of our own technologies. In many cases for those clients, we are providing the services for them. So if you are sending in a new account application or go online and fill out a new account application, or if you have a question about your account and call the shareholder servicing number, in many of those cases, you're actually calling DST. So we have process tens of thousands of transactions on a daily basis across those industries that we serve. How that works for us. So currently, work comes in, that application that you send in comes in via the mail, email, fax, through your broker, however you get it into us. Our workflow management systems capture that piece of work. We then automatically distribute that work to a knowledge worker. So we have an expert worker, employee of DST, that's responsible for processing that information on your behalf. Once they've processed it and keyed it in, it then gets automatically routed to a quality control worker. So SecureTask, I'll breeze through some of this. Overview, DST, big publicly traded company, around since 1969, primarily in the financial services industry where we provide technology solutions, leading platform provider in the mutual fund shareholder account servicing realm, also retirement, brokerage, beyond financial services, healthcare, insurance, and pharmacy claims. On the back end, which I didn't speak to before, we also produce outbound communication. So if you received an explanation of benefits, confirmation statement, investor statement, quarterly statement, any of that around your investments, it's very likely even potentially a AT&T bill, that sort of thing may have come from us. So what we do, in addition to technologies that we provide, as I mentioned, we're also an outsourcer of these services for the clients that we support. So for us, that means processing, again, tens of thousands of transactions on a daily basis. So we have work that comes in, automatically routed, gets out to a knowledge worker of ours, processes that work. Then it goes to a QC step, which is another knowledge worker. They complete the efforts to make sure that we have high quality work on behalf of our clients. As an enterprise, like most, we face some of these challenges. So from an elasticity standpoint, because of our dependency, even though we've iterated over time, improved, reduced waste, made the process as efficient as possible. Ultimately, we're still reliant on a knowledge worker to get the task done. I guess we could call them an expert crowd. So right now we're relying on an expert crowd to get that work done. And when you have expertise for any one client, any two clients, it makes it difficult to handle volumes that maybe spikes in another client. And so how do we manage that workflow and manage that the volumes on behalf of our clients? Second one, their data accuracy. We've improved our processes. Quality of the data that we produce is very high, but it's very important in our realm that we manage that. If you were to make an investment, obviously we wouldn't want to put your investment in somebody else's account. We wouldn't want to misspell your name, because then you'd be calling the shareholder servicing line and taking up the time of one of our phone reps. So accuracy is very important. Obviously, we try to reduce and be responsible, make sure that we're doing so at the lowest cost possible for us, so that we can then pass savings on to our clients. But in the industries we serve, financial services, healthcare, insurance, very highly regulated. So FINRA, SEC, Patriot Act, HIPAA, all of those things apply to the clients that we serve. So protecting their customers' information, hundreds of millions of records, is of vital importance to them. And so we help minimize their risk by them depending on us, having that trust in us that we've built over 40 years of managing their data. But we want to get better, right? Continue to make that move forward, innovate, develop, do things better than we've done them in the past. So we thought, well, let's look to the crowd, right? How can we implement crowd, but still do so within DST environment? And some of the benefits that we hope to achieve that many have spoke to throughout the last couple of days. From a quality perspective, sending an individual task out and have it entered by more than one person, and then systematically comparing that. So building quality into the process instead of bolting it on a back end, right? If you were building a car, you wouldn't wait till that car is completely done to make sure that the radio works. So it's a similar sort of thing here. Send those individual tasks out, get them processed, bring it back in, achieve high quality. Also, by reducing the dependency on the knowledge worker, I can now distribute all of these tasks out and have any one group or any one person within our employee base input that data and then increase the throughput, manage those, even out those spikes in volumes that we have. Again, that gives us more flexibility. We also can improve our ability to meet our clients' SLAs, which furthermore allows them to be more successful in the businesses that they're in. And lastly, as to tie back into what we've been entrusted to do for our clients, by doing that with our DST Secure Crowd, we hope to maintain the levels of security that we've demonstrated for our clients over the last 40 years. And obviously that carries on to those regulatory people that are kind of keeping an eye on what they do. So we need to make sure we're successful at that. So we took all of the technologies that we had developed over time, so workflow management, business rules engines, workflow distribution, scanning, imaging, user interfaces, all of those things that we've been successful at to date, and compiled those into a solution that works for us, and we call that SecureTask. So now we bring the work in. We have a step or steps where we dissect out that work into individual fragments. Those tasks get routed out to our DST Secure Crowd, so a crowd of employees that we know who they are, right? They're employees of DST. We know who they are. We know what they're going to do. They key in the work. Obviously, we apply field business rules. So what's the logic of when we get data back from them, how do we need to apply that to the system? What does that mean to us? Those business rules could be applied on the front end as well, just to determine which fields do we need to enter and where do we go from there. And then ultimately data acceptance. So high quality data coming into our platform on the back end. So we went through some external tests, internal proofs of concept, implement this solution within our environment for our clients, and to achieve some of the expected savings that we saw are expected to see out of the crowd. So our security, obviously, high levels of quality, the data that we got back that was entered, again, accurate, able to more rapidly deploy our workforce, and then ultimately combine the quality and the scalability led to savings for us that we can then obviously internalize, which is good, but also look to pass on to our clients. So by applying the Crowd and the technologies that we had already, we were able to transform the way that we're processing transactions on our clients' behalf. So potential use cases, as we looked at what we can solve internally and where these may apply to other industries, as well as certainly the structured form processing. Easiest one to handle, new account application comes in, it's on a distinct form, I can break that out, have it worked. Unstructured form processing as well, so a letter that you may write in to do something on behalf of your account or complain about something. As was stated before, we're all good at complaining, right? So we get a lot of complaint letters on behalf of our customers, or we can. Maybe it's a redemption letter, maybe it's a change of address. Unstructured form, we don't know what it's going to look like, but we can quickly isolate the elements that need to be processed and then route those out to our workforce. Another potential use case for us internally, certainly as we convert on clients from other platforms, but certainly in other industries where you may have a system conversion. Code can get you a long way. If you identify, as an example, a name, David S. Tucker, can I break that out using code? Potentially you could, but what happens when there's a 3-word in there? Client last name is in the field instead, and the code may recognize that as a first, middle, and last name when really it's not. And so by combining what technology can do, coupled with being able to break that task out in cases where technology doesn't get you all the way there, and have the human interaction through the Microtask, again, benefits that we can obtain there, and certainly I think other industries that come across this. And then lastly, for our clients, there's certainly a lot of legacy paper that they store, and based on those regulations that they have boxes and boxes of paper that can be digitized and archived, and again, there's opportunities for our Crowd to do that in a secure environment. So where we're headed, certainly we've been inspired by the Crowd, working with Carl and Dana and attending conferences such as these, and how can we apply it internally? Certainly very exciting for us. And then complementary solution for us. So SecureTask is a part of a broader scope of what we offer. We have mail center services, we do scanning and imaging, obviously we do the processing, we have outbound communications, we have data centers that can store data. So it's a nice fit for everything that DST does. And certainly it brings value for us. What I heard this morning, yesterday, and what I expect to hear more this afternoon, the opportunities in the crowdsourcing environment are virtually endless, right? So a lot of value there, and at DST with SecureTask, we're looking forward to kind of engaging and staying engaged in this environment and with partners that are here today, and how can we work with you, and how can you help us? So very excited to be a part of this landscape going forward. So I don't know if we have any time for questions. Any questions?
Repeat the question.
Thank you. You said there were 30% efficiency gains. Can you elaborate on where the gains came from? What kinds of things were more efficient? Because it seems like the key lesson in what you're saying is that by using crowdsourcing methodology, not actually a crowd in the sense that we've been talking about it, you got these gains with the in-house employees.
Right.
And so can you elaborate on where the gains actually came from?
Sure. So it's a combination of things. One, breaking those tasks out to individual elements. So there's efficiency gain there by just key the thing that I see, instead of having to work through an entire form that may be presented to me. So I can do that quicker over time. Even if you have 2 people entering it, maybe quicker to run through that than to do the entire form. Additionally, by combining that with technology, now instead of having to look at a form which may have only 60% of the fields have data in them, but I still have to review the whole thing, combine that with technology, now those fields that don't have information in them, I can recognize that through mark detection or whatever and say, I don't care about those, I'm only going to present the fields that have information in them. So that's kind of what helped lead to those gains.
Did you guys offer SecureTask as a new product to your customers, or did you just more efficiently do what you were already doing for the customer?
So it's a good question. SecureTask for us is a solution that we look to provide. So as a service provider, we would leverage SecureTask, and we do that on behalf of our clients currently. but would look to also offer that as a solution external to our clients. So what other industries are out there that could leverage such a solution? But we are not, selling the platform. It's, so to speak, it's our service and our solution to provide. Sure.
Are there places where the reverse happens because having the context of the whole form might actually
I didn't get the first part of your question, sorry.
Are there places, if you break down a form that contains some context, right? So I know the name of the person, I know their address, I know more details about them. So one can imagine that there are efficiencies in actually having that context. So did you find places where breaking it down was actually inefficient?
I don't know that. I would say that there still are certain aspects that, you may need a human to, right? Some sort of quick good order check, right? Okay, are these 4 things done? Maybe you can eyeball that. You may also be able to use machine programming code to identify those things as well. But there certainly is still a place for that within the process. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.